So, the purpose of this video is to talk about purpose. Purpose within the context of the present moment. And what it is. Because it seems to be important to us, this idea of purpose. There's a small problem with purpose, and that's that the sole purpose of purpose is to keep you away from where you're at. Purpose is the opposite of meditation. Purpose is discontent. Purpose means you're not happy with where you are, and you need to be somewhere else. You need to achieve something. You have to extend it out indefinitely. You can never be satisfied. You have to extend it out. You never arrive. And that's the point. Because within the context of the present moment, everything is already there. Everything is already flawless. Everything is already perfect. Within the present moment. It's all contained right here. And that's how it's always been. And wherever you're at, you extend out your purpose, and you hop into the mind. You visualize where you want to be as opposed to where you are, and then you go about taking the required action to get you to where you want to be. And sometimes it's as simple as I want to move my body to the store and then move it back home and then eat. Or, you can extend it out till retirement and do the necessary money acquisition and, that sort of thing. The further the purpose gets away from the present moment, the more abstract it is and the less relation it has to do with your actual life. Purpose is a bit absurd, but this is something that you can only see if you've realized what the present moment is. If you haven't realized it, then purpose seems perfectly natural, and it seems like the only thing that you need to be thinking about. And also, the present moment is scary to people because they don't know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're worried about, is this right? Is that right? I'm bored. you know? When you're living the purposed life, it's more difficult to observe what's actually going on around you, and it's more difficult to contemplate anything. Um, and that's what keeps this whole system machine running, is the idea of purpose, the idea of time, the idea of constantly extending your energy out away from where you're at. If you just walk outside and look at the motions of the people. They're all purposed, and they all have definite places that they want to be, and those places are never where they're at. That's not really allowed. Not in Western culture. In other countries, it's totally fine to be sitting doing nothing. But around here, it's called loitering, and it's given a bad connotation. It's evil. You're lazy, good for nothing if you just sit. Which is what makes it alluring to those of us who have lived this idea that you need to latch onto a purpose and strive to escape the present moment eternally. Which you never do, of course. It's impossible. But it is possible to constantly project forward. Always project forward. That is possible. While you are still anchored and rooted in the present, your imagination is off in the horizon, you know. I'm not denigrating projection or planning or anything like that. I'm saying it's good to be aware of both of them, presence and projection. It frees you up. And freedom is good. The more you plan something, the more dead it becomes. It has to be some mixture of combining knowledge of what you need for a general outcome with allowed spontaneity within the actions that you're taking after. Because you can speak. You have all of the tools in you already to speak and say something that makes sense. And the planned speech doesn't ever have anything more meaningful in it than the impromptu speech, and the impromptu speech is always alive. And therefore more appealing, for the most part. If you're used to listening to planned speeches, and you like that feeling, that the comfort and the familiarity that comes from those, the spontaneity will either scare you or upset you, or you will attack it or something, and you won't, you'll want to just get away from it. As far as built-in purpose, though, it's not built in. There isn't. It's not there. Because everything already is whole. You are already whole. And there's nothing to do about it. You are, however, free to do something about it. And you're free to just be in the moment whenever you choose to. Both are available to you. The moment itself, though, before words and labels are applied to it, is perfectly free, perfectly whole, and it doesn't really bother with what goes on inside of it. You know?